Hi guys, Jonathan here with the Houzz Pro Takeoff team, and today I'm going to show you how to use these exact plans to do this takeoff using the tools available on Houzz Pro. You're able to clone any page with existing measurements or without. In this example, we're going to do it without measurements, and we're going to start this takeoff again. Then hit the three dots at the bottom of the thumbnail and you can rename the pages too. By naming things, it will make it a lot easier for you to follow as you progress in your takeoff, or if you want to come back to it in a couple of months' time, it will all be there labeled accordingly. The next feature is the keyword search. Simply, I'm going to type in shingles, and this will return the exact pages it's returned on and how many times that word appears on the page. This is really handy and it will help you never miss a material again. Then we have our line width here. I'm going to show you how that's applicable in a minute. Then importantly, we have the page scale. Houzz Pro is automatically set as a 1/4 inch is equal to a foot. But as you can see here, these plans are 3/16 is equal to a foot. Simply select it from the drop down and you should be ready to measure. Best practice, however, is to make a known length to ensure that the plans are calibrated. Select the length tool, click to start, double click to finish. And if this matches up, you know that everything is good to go and all of your measurements will be good going forward. Now let's get into the takeoff itself. Best practice is to familiarize yourself with the plans and then set up your groups ahead of time. Here we're going to set up our valleys, give it a name, give it a color. If it's something we measure every time we set up a plan on Houzz Pro, you can add it to your favorites. This will associate it with your account so that it will be ready to measure in that drop down every time you upload a project. Once that's selected, you can add into that group continuously. Click to start, click to drop a marker and change direction, and double click to finish. Here is where you might want to add a thicker line width, just so as it's obvious on the plans what it is that you've measured. Next, we are going to measure our hip and ridges. Because we've already got this group set up, you click the length, hit the drop down, and you'll select the group hip and ridges. Because we have these groups selected, you can see all of the individual measurements go into the folder, and it'll give us a sum total of the group. Now we are going to measure the roof. We're going to select the polygon for this, and this works the same as the length. You click to start, click to drop a marker and change direction. And when you've finished, double click to complete the perimeter and you get that area. What we're doing here is going to name the individual measurements that make up the groups. And I'm going to give them the pitch of the roof itself. So 3/12, 8/12, 12/12, etc. This is where it becomes very handy for roofers. What we can do is add in a pitch to get the total square footage of the roof itself. By checking the blue box in the middle of the measurements drawer, it will give you the option to add additional parameters such as height, width, depth, and in this case, we're going to add in our pitch. So I'm going to give the entire group the pitch of 8/12, which will be applied to all of the individual measurements. Now what we can do is go into the individual measurements and change them on an individual basis. So in this example, 3/12. What's important to note here is that any individual measurements that are added to the group roof afterwards are going to take on the group pitch of 8/12. So you'll see here, I'm going to measure another part of the roof, which is 14/12. What I need to do is go in and change that at an individual level again. Again, the more you label it, the clearer it's going to be. Now we're going to do the count. So simply check the count, hit the exhaust vent from the drop down, go around the canvas, clicking where you see exhaust vents, and you will get a sum total in the measurements drawer as usual. Same is applied for downpipes and anything you can think to count. Now we're going to run through the annotation feature. This is really good when you want to be specific with either clients, guys on site, or general contractors. It avoids confusion and costly mistakes once you get on site. By clicking Annote, it's automatically selected for text. You can begin to type your text and be specific in your instructions or get clarifications on things you're not sure of. Use the arrow feature to point to exactly what it is that you're referring to. You've got the highlighting feature, which will allow you to highlight specific parts of the plan, as well as the cloud function, which will allow you to draw attention to that part of the plan as well. This has been a really general overview on how you can use Houzz Pro to do your roofing takeoff. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to our product experts and we'll be happy to set up a demo and run through all of your questions on an individual basis.